Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Remember11, The Age of Infinity. Last time we were trusting a kid to tell us a fortune. So let's see what he's going to say is this incident is going to happen to Kokoro when she's 20. And if it really is that thing about being in a plane crash and stuck in a cabin, I want my money back. I know I didn't pay any money for this fortune, but by dang it, I want that money anyway. I lightly prodded Yuni's forehead.
何すんだよ。今まさに遭遇中じゃない。それって飛行機事故のことでしょ。ユニったらやっぱりインチキ。そうじゃなくて、手相にもそういう風に出てるんだってば。ズルはダメ。
Really? It shows up in your palm if you're gonna get in a plane crash? Okay, cool. I didn't see anything about a plane crash. So I think I'm good then. While his face warped in annoyance, Yuni tightened his grip on my hand. Suddenly his look turned serious. In an unusually grave tone, I was surprised. If you spec corpses, I already saw them. That gruesome crash site, I thought he was referring to that, but I was wrong. What's he saying, this kid? Took a hard look in the eyes of the child in front of him. Yuni's full round eyes were clear. And so deep I felt I was being sucked into them. Forgot to even breathe. At Yuni's words, I came to my senses. It was a tone that was neither serious nor joking. Yuni softly caressed the surface of my hand. Sometimes this kid becomes kind of scary. We've mentioned this before. There's definitely something strange with him. I still don't know what to make of him. Whether he's a cause? I don't know. Just kind of that. I mean, in the intro he's called the Trickster. Let's keep going. And if we're speaking about knives, well, if somebody comes to mind, Yomogi, Mr. Knife Care here. So, what if he's gonna stab somebody or be stabbed by a knife? Can't remember. Are there any knives at Sphere? This is a place for mentally unstable people. I know, let's keep sharp objects around. But I can't remember if they talked about how that worked at the breakfast that they had before. Whether there was actually utensils there. But you would think that a place set for that would have plastic utensils that can't be jabbed into somebody's eyeball. So if Yuni's not just being a butthole and pulling people's legs, then I guess the murder. I was thinking at first, the prediction could happen. It's Fia, and then she'd be like, "We know he wasn't here, although he is." But it might be there at the cabin though, which means there could be a murder in two places. Actually, that would precisely point at somebody. Who's in two places at once where a murder happened? Looking at them right there. So, there's probably knives at Sophia. I'm just saying that logically there shouldn't be. That's something I'll have to. I'm getting a big list of stuff for me to look through for this game while it's happening. Are there knives at Sophia? What's this? How does he react around Mayuzumi? If he's actually somehow connected quite closely to Satoru. So yeah. But of course, I forget the list as it's going, as it actually comes to something on it. And you think he's just innocently playing with his teddy bear? All of a sudden, he'll say, with a grown-up face, things that make you shiver. I felt an imbalance with the Force, as of conflicting things coexisting. Behind his neutral face, I wonder what kind of real nature he's hiding. Distant from my doubts, Yuni sweetly smiled. A carefree smile, that of a child. Who just said that somebody would stab somebody? Should I trust a smiling face? Swallowing my rising anxiety, I tried to ask about something else.
さっき見たよね。私がサトルと切り替わる瞬間、どんな感じだった？つまんない感じだよ。ちょっと黙り込んだかなと思ったら、急に口調が変わるんだもん。目がピカーッと光ったりとかすればかっこいいのにね。あんよそれ。
At the moment of transfer, it seems no particular change happens to me on the outside. This too is similar to the personalities of a DID patient switching. She really is opening up an idea here of oh, good grief. What am I trying to say? Of her possibly having DID. Yeah, she kind of is, because she keeps saying that the way her and Satoru are doing things are exactly the thing from exact same thing of good grief, I can't talk today. Of having DID. And here's another thing I just want. Kind of going back to how I thought earlier. What if this would be an interesting thing? What if they were to be doing something like the Matrix, like like I said earlier, but it like creates a virtual world for your personalities, for all of them to coexist. That'd be a pretty wacky thing. But then again, if that was the case, then one of the places would be in real life and one of them wouldn't be. The cabin would either be the fake one, or Sophia would be the... Well, if one of them had to be fake, I guess it'd have to be the cabin. Yeah. I would think. I remember Hattori, she was talking to me through writing about when her personality changes took place. Before I forgot, I thought I should check through Inubushi's file. Just in case, I think Yuni had stood up. I took the Inubushi file Yomogi had retrieved and sat down on the wooden chair. Okay, cool. He brought it, but they brought it back. Once again, I opened the file I had looked over many times. Psychiatric examination results. Inubushi Keiko, currently age 19. She is a serial killer who, at age 17, murdered 12 innocent people at Awazumi Municipal Hospital. However, due to being diagnosed with DID, she escaped capital punishment and was sent to Sophia. Inubushi Keiko had rewritten the history of crime in Japan in many different ways. The case marked the largest number of lives ever taken by a serial killer who was a minor. And in the history of crime in Japan, it was in the top place in terms of the number of people murdered by a female. Breaking all sorts of records, apparently. She's a trendsetter. Let's hope not. In general, there is no precedent for a female serial killer like her. It's rather true. Most serial killers are guys. Now, I don't like to study up on it. Some people have a big fascination with it, and that's fine, I suppose. I like to be fascinated by more of the happier side of things, but my mom, she likes to watch a bunch of like the crime stuff, and she'll be like, hey, this guy did this, and I'm like, okay, thanks for making me think of that. Of course, that's something you can avoid thinking about. There's horrible people out there, but from memory, I don't really recall a female serial killer. From memory, like I said, I'm not an expert by any means. I'm sure there's been some. I do remember reading up on this thing about this lady who she kept like getting married, and her husband's died in ways, and then she'd be like, oh, insurance, yay, die many ways. So I guess that would be considered a type of serial killer. So, but yeah, death to the murder must be known as the Highway Lady of Death appeared in America. It was even said that women couldn't be sick. Who the crap is Highway Lady of Death? Well, that's a stupid thought, saying that they couldn't be. But yeah, was that real? No tip for that one. Of course, she was the first of her kind in Japan. I'm guessing they're not talking. Well, yeah, it appeared in America. Is that real? Never heard of that. Well, like I said, I'm not the most storied. I've got coworkers who watched a lot of documentaries and stuff about that sort of thing too. So, yeah, like I say, I like to study up on happier things, And she was the first person ever to be recognized as suffering from DID in the history of criminal trials in Japan. Before that court precedent was made, there had been several criminals? Did I say criminals? What? Criminals suspected of having DID. However, there were no cases of trial acquittals by reason of DID until then. The reason was simple. The very existence of a dissociative identity disorder had been disputed. The opinions of those in the field of psychiatry are still divided. That's why, even if brought into consideration during sentencing, it was never used as a reason for a pardon. The past precedent. It keeps sounding like I'm saying president. The past. Oh my gosh, now I can't say it at all. Dang it. The past president. I'll just say it like president. All hail the presidents. The past precedent was rewritten, and because of Indobushi Keiko, for the first time, DID became a valid reason for application of Article 39 of the Penal Code. There are various reasons that she was acknowledged as suffering from DID, but the biggest one is said to have been the DSM-6. What the crap is okay. DSM-6 had been published just a few years earlier. The latest revision had been issued 2008. Interesting. See what this thing is. Nope, went too far. Oh, great. We got 3 pages. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Oh my gosh. They just want me to flub over words today, ain't they? A handbook of diagnostic criteria for mental disorders published by the American Psychiatric Association. The title is followed by mine's burping. The title is followed by its revision number. Published editions so far include the DSM-1, 1952, DSM-2, 1968, DSM-3, 1980, DSM-3R, 1987, and 4 in 94. Wow. This manual, so to speak, is a simplified guide to the diagnostic of mental illnesses. Mental illnesses may affect a person in many forms and are notoriously difficult to diagnose. It is also not uncommon for separate examining doctors to differ in their diagnoses. To help eliminate such errors, the DSM is used as a guide for doctors to determine the name of the illness based on the observed symptoms. By asking the patient certain questions, such as about said patient's condition, and checking their responses against the data in the DSM, even an inexperienced doctor can establish a diagnosis and begin appropriate treatment. That's good. I'm glad that people with less qualifications are making psychiatric determinations. I normally just deal with the feet. But you, sir, are crazy. I'm pretty sure it's not what they're saying there. I guess they're pretty much just trying to put everything on even footing and adopting certain guidelines, so which would be a good thing. Note, since the time of the story of Remember... Oh my gosh, we just got outside the story! We broke free! Note, since the time the story of Remember11 takes place, there have been 2 further editions of the DSM. DSM for TR 2000, an expansion of DSM with updated diagnostic codes and extra information on each diagnosis in the upcoming DSM 5 after 2012. That's cool on the interpreters to throw that information in there. They didn't have to do that. That's cool. The 4th revision, was I calling it 6 a minute ago? Let's call it 6. The 4th revision of the DSM, published in 1994. In this edition, the name of the illness, formerly called multiple personality disorder, was changed to dissociative identity disorder. It was there that the illness called DID was born, because it was called MID before. No, MPD. Yep, it was there. Oh, yeah. Incidentally, dissociative personality disorder is still referred as multiple personality disorder in other official writings, such as the ICD-10. In the Japanese edition of the DSM, the latter term is used. I like this game actually has a lot of information in it. That was terms I didn't know. I mean, yeah, I guess you would think that there's guidelines about that sort of thing. You would know what it would be called and different revisions. Though, I mean, revisions are always important because, I mean, things are always changing as information keeps being found out. Following 4 points, okay. 1, 2 or more distinct identities and personalities exist. Possess awareness, recognition, and cognition of self, surrounding environment, as well as individual personality characteristics. 2, these identities, having at least 2 distinct personalities, continuously show individual behavior and conduct. 3, important personal information cannot be recalled, and this by extension cannot be explained with normal forgetfulness. 4, these symptoms are not directly due to the influence of psychological effects of drugs, for example, memory loss or violent behavior due to disorientation from alcohol poisoning, or a result of other general abnormal conditions. If these 4 criteria are fulfilled, the condition is recognized as dissociative identity disorder. I think this game's making my throat a little sore. However, even with the establishment of the 4 criteria above, they couldn't completely rule out all Malingerers. Malingerers. Did they make that word up? They're just making words up in this game. Malingerers? Wait, whoa! They couldn't rule out. They couldn't completely rule out malingerers. Yeah, that was a little goof up on in the interpretation of malingers. Is that? But what are they trying to say? I'm guessing it's from malignant, which is bad. Yeah, okay, cool. If two or more personalities could be perfectly acted out, it would be acknowledged as a case of DID. There have also been those who tried to exploit this through the misuse of psychiatric drugs. As a result, the 2008 edition of DSM I didn't say it wrong. 6 included the following appended criterion. Why would I be worried? I've been I screw words up all the time on here anyway. 5. The above symptoms appear even while induced hypnosis. Be quite the angle. In other words, if a different personality arose, even during hypnosis, a condition in which the patient is unable to act, they'll acknowledge it as DID. The addition of this guideline had an influence on the skeptical field of Japanese psychology. In Japan, it became accepted that a person was suffering from DID of the above 5 items were fulfilled. Nobushi Keiko had undergone an examination under hypnosis in accordance with the DSM-6's standard and was confirmed to have DID. That was acknowledged as evidence in court, and Nobushi Keiko was acquitted as a person suffering from an unsound mind. Okay. I was impressed with myself for being able to clearly remember every detail they told us in class. Well, it's the topic I like, though, so it's only natural that I'd remember it. I'm interested in humans and society. That's why I decided to study criminal psychology. People are mysterious. Mysterious! They have the intelligence to make space travel a reality and say something like, "I'm a seagull," to express that feeling. Even so, they continue the stupidity that is war and have tempers short enough to enable them to kill someone in a blind rage. They can experience deep love as well as murder the innocent. Instead of a frail body that possesses neither claws or fangs, humans are filled with chaos. Men have adventurous hearts, searching for glory by traveling to the depths of the ocean and the cosmos. My interest lies in the abyss of the human heart. And while studying criminal psychology, what attracted my interest the most was Nobushi Keiko. Man, my nose itches. Turn to the next page of the file. Nobushi Keiko has DID. Maybe I should review the case one more time. Yeah, we'll review it. Might be some information she forgot. Or maybe it's just for the readers use there. I'm not really sure what the case would be on that one. But we'll review it in case. In case it is something to do with the game. And plus, it wouldn't be a bad thing to review anyway. Since I have a horrible memory. But we'll do that next time, like I said. So I do hope you folks enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one. Farewell there, folks.